asked to work out the perimeter of the shaded segment. And what I'm going to do, I can see that the shaded segment has got a perimeter which is divided into two bits. I've got this arc length, so I'm going to work out the length of this arc, and then I'm going to work out the length of this straight line. Okay, so first of all, to work out the length of the arc, so I'm going to call that arc ABC. To do that, we're going to use the formula, which is the angle at the center of the sector, so 120 over 360 times the circumference of a whole circle, which is 2 pi r. So in this case, it's going to be 120 over 360. Well, that actually simplifies to a third times 2 times pi times the radius, which is 8. And if we work that out, so it comes out as 16 pi over 3. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'm now going to work out the length of that line from A to C, and I can see that I've got a triangle there. This angle here is 120, this is 8, and this is 8. And if I label it up as I can see whether I'm going to use the sine rule or the cosine rule. Let's change that to C. So I'm trying to find side C. This is side B, and this is side A. Now notice I've got the 120 degrees, but I haven't got the side opposite each other. So I can't use the sine rule. It must be the cosine rule. And the version of the cosine rule that's given to me in the front of the paper is a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. But in this case, I'm trying to find side C, so I'm going to adapt that to c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos angle C. So in this case, A is 8, so it's 8 squared plus b squared, well, that's another 8 squared, minus, big bracket here, 2 times A, which is 8, times B, which is 8, times B, which is 8, times cos 120 degrees, and that's c squared, remember, so that's going to be 64 plus 64 minus 2 times 64 cos 120. Be careful here though, so c squared is going to be 128 minus 128 cos 120. Don't do 128, take 128, remember these have to be multiplied. And if you just type that into your calculator, we end up with c squared is 192, and c squared, c then is the square root of 192. Okay, so to work out the perimeter, so the perimeter is going to be the arc length, which remember was 16 pi over 3. If you work that out on your calculator, it's 16.75, but remember to store it on your calculator, plus the square root of 192, and if you've worked that out, it comes out as 13.85. Again, you'd have to store it on your calculator. Easier though to just leave it like this. Add them together, then you get 30.61156. So write it to a few decimal places first, and then round it to 3 significant figures, so that's 30.6 centimeters.